Miranda, how are you? We're here to talk about Jubilee fashion today. Very, very, very excited. We've obviously got the big Jubilee bank holiday weekend coming up. First question to stylist Miranda Holder, who is an expert on all of these things. What do we think the royals are going to wear this weekend?
Oh, hello, Lottie. It's so wonderful to be here. And I am so excited about the Platinum Jubilee. The world has been building up to this for so long. The royals have been in so much preparation. And one thing is for certain, one thing I can promise you above anything else is that it is going to be a veritable feast for the eyes. We are going to have a riot of colour, an explosion of silhouettes, of pomp, of circumstance, of diamonds, of gold, everything you can think of. And it's going to be a show to be remembered.
Absolutely love that. Well, first question is, this has been planned for a long, long, long time. So when it comes to fashion, how long do you think the royals have been kind of thinking about their outfits, thinking about what they're going to wear?
A rather long time, but even more so than the royals, they're lovely assistants. So the Queen works with the amazing Angela Key, who is her personal assistant and chief dresser. And Angela is actually a very close personal friend of the Queen now, and she is so instrumental in every single step of the Queen's wardrobe. So this will have been on the Queen's consciousness for quite a while, but really Angela is at the helm of this and has been driving it for several years at least. And the lovely Kate Middleton works very closely with Natasha Archer, her stylist, who was recently invested with the Order of the Victorian Cross for her services. So she's doing a fantastic job. So I can assure you that the wardrobe rooms in Buckingham Palace will have been an absolute frenzy for at least the last 24 months.
I can absolutely imagine. Are there going to be any outfit changes, do we think? We've obviously got a long Platinum weekend. It's a bank holiday. There's 4 days. So, surely there's going to be some outfit changes thrown in.
Well, we've got so much happening, haven't we? We've got 4 days of celebration. On many days, there's definitely more than one thing happening. So yes, absolutely. I mean, the royals are masters at dressing for whatever they are doing. There's a huge amount of planning and consideration that goes into any outfit they might wear. And one of the most practical aspects of this is the occasion that they're dressed for. So they'll dress totally differently from the daytime, if you think of the Queen, to the evening. And I think we can see on the screen there the Queen in some full regalia looking absolutely splendid, which is very much an evening look.
That's it. And what's kind of a typical royal dress code for an occasion like this, would you say? Or does it vary? I'm guessing it varies quite a lot.
It varies tremendously, and it really depends on exactly what they are doing. So what they all do is Angela Kelly will lead the team and they will consider all of the different aspects for this particular look. So it's who they're going to see, what the guests are, what the hosts are, what the temperature is going to be. They have a totally different wardrobe in the spring and summer than they do in the winter. And all these things are considered. In terms of the dress code, well, it's going to be a formal occasion, many of them. So hats are absolutely essential. This custom or tradition dates back to 1950s, when it was actually considered unseemly for ladies to be seen showing their hair. And the Queen is still very fond of this and sort of has adopted this tradition. So she is seen without, if she's without a hat, she'll have a headscarf just protecting her.
Brilliant. Okay. And I've got to say, Miranda, excellent hat choice as well for you today. Ready for the Platinum Jubilee.
Well, thank you very much. It had to be done. I rather like yours as well, Lottie. It looks fabulous. What a little fascinator.
Thank you. So, talking about the royal children, what can we expect them to wear this weekend, do we think?
Well, the girls, of course, will be dressed in beautiful outfits, and I think a little bit colour coordinated. So this is an approach we've seen taken by the royals more and more in recent years. There's lovely Kate and Williams, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, of Cambridge, looking fabulous. And they have really adopted this colour coordinated look more and more recently, because I believe it helps to present them as a united front. If you think that the royals have had a slightly traumatic year or two with Harry and Meghan and Edward and various things, I think it's more important than ever, considering the occasion, for them all to present a really united front. So the girls will be in a similar hue, I think, to their mothers. And actually, I think when the royals are on the balcony, they are all going to be colour coordinated in some way, even if it's just subtle, to really communicate this message across. Their colours are always full of symbolism. There are so many wonderful layered messages there that if we don't pick up on first time, when we look back at the pictures in years to come, will become even more apparent. So the little girls will be matching their parents, and then the boys, so boys under 8, it's actually tradition in the royal family for boys to wear shorts rather than trousers, even if on the coldest days. They just have to warm up in other ways. And this dates back to the 19th century, actually, when the tradition of breeching was in full force. So this was wearing gowns and dresses instead of trousers. They swapped it for shorts in the 19th century, and the boys still wear it for today. And I feel it looks absolutely gorgeous. They look very, very cute in their shorts.
They look adorable. The royal children always look so great. So I'm really excited to see them out. I'm sure everyone is. And, you know, discussing things like etiquette when it comes to outfits, but also etiquette with, you know, other things like diamonds before 6 p.m, no nail polish. They've got a lot of rules, the royal family, haven't they, when it comes to fashion? So what can you tell us about etiquette?
There are many, many rules, and some of them are quite foreign to us. So take one, for example, is that we often see Kate and the Queen in particular in beautiful outfits with matching dress coats, all colour coordinated. And the eagle eye amongst the people watching at home might have noticed that once the coat is on, it is never actually taken off. And that's because it is considered unseemly for a lady in the royal household to be taking their coat off and sort of, you know, fidgeting and wrestling their coat off in public. So once it's on, it has to stay on the whole time, even if they get too warm, which is even more pressure on the lovely dressers and stylists to make sure that their coat is absolutely right and not too heavy. And in terms of other etiquette, tiaras, for example. Cool. Tiaras are only allowed to be worn by married ladies and brides. So luckily, we have no unmarried senior members of the royal family at the moment who are females, but certainly the little girls will not be wearing tiaras. Tea, if they drink tea, or maybe they'll have something slightly stronger in their teacups, contrary to popular opinion, thank you very much, they're not going to be sticking out their pinky. So we all think it's a little bit posh, isn't it, to sort of drink like this. But the royals are strictly forbidden. They must hold their teacups properly, like so.
Oh, wow.
When they're entering a room, the Queen always goes first. So when they're filing onto the balcony, the Queen will enter first, and everyone will follow in order. So those closest to the crown will go first, and the sort of the people in the royal family that are lower down and less important, if you like, will come on last. Another funny one is that everyone has to stop eating when the Queen puts down her fork.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I know. So luckily, the Queen is a fairly slow eater because she likes to chew well and digest food. Thank goodness. Otherwise, the whole of the rest of the family would be absolutely racing to swallow down their food, and they wouldn't be enjoying it quite as much. So that's a funny one.
That is brilliant. Some really good things there that I don't think many people would know. So I really love that. Thanks, Miranda. And, you know, obviously we've got to talk about Her Majesty. It is a weekend all about her and her 70 years. Incredible. What's she going to wear?
This is the question, and it's a much debated question and a really exciting one that I've been trying to predict. Well, the emblem for the Jubilee is a beautiful, rich royal purple and, of course, grey to symbolise the platinum. So the first thing I would say is that I would expect to see some purple somewhere. Yeah. Our beautiful royal icon, the Queen, is actually a fashion icon in her own right. Did you know she's got a Barbie doll that's been made her honor of the Queen. It's actually sold out. You can get her on eBay, I think, just about by paying a small fortune, but it's been very, very successful. So she is well recognized the world over as being an absolute icon in her own right. And a lot of that is down to Angela Kelly, who has really worked her magic, working very closely with the Queen, developing her style. And what the Queen has mastered is this beautiful style uniform. So when you think about Queen, you instantly have a picture in your mind of a lady looking very elegant, head to toe, top to toe in a single colour. And this is all handmade. Most of it is made by Angela Kay and her colleague in the palace. Occasionally it is sort of farmed out to other designers, but most of it happens in-house. So the hat is made, and it depends on the season as to how sort of heavy and warm it might be. The same with the dress and that classic coat. She wears a certain pair of shoes. Many of them are bespoke. Her maximum heel height is 2 inches. Anything else is too much.
Oh my gosh.
Very important. And something quite fun is, and given the British weather here, we all know is a little bit unreliable, she has a bespoke brolly to match every single outfit. So at the beginning of this whole process, the outfits are all planned and mapped out, and we have a matching umbrella. And she has a huge collection of her favorite handbags, which are made by Lorna, a beautiful brand. But again, many of them are bespoke, and many of them will be made to match the outfit specifically. And Her Majesty likes extra long on the handles so that it doesn't catch clothing, and it's easier to get in and out of cars. And all these things have to be sort of considered, because there are so many things to think about when planning an outfit for such an important day.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to give it to the Queen, and you've got to give it to Angela Kelly. The amount of detail that is going into every single aspect when it comes to fashion it's exceptional. Do you think that there has been a lot of pressure on Angela Kelly, but then given that she loves it because it's her job, so surely she enjoys it as well, all the preparation?
I think Angela Kelly is one of the luckiest ladies in the world, actually. I know that she will say that herself as well.
Yeah.
It's a position, huge responsibility and huge honor, but what a privilege, and what an amazing position for her to be in, to be part of this wonderful tradition and history, and her work commemorated forever in all these beautiful books and things that we're bound to get out following the Jubilee. So yes, she feels the pressure, but I am absolutely positive that, like any pro stylist, she will be as cool as a cucumber and secretly loving every moment. But I do hope that Angela gets to pop her feet up once the celebrations are in full swing, once she's done her job, and back to you. Exactly, have a cup of tea without the pinky out, or maybe something stronger, and reward herself for all her good work.
Absolutely. And there's so many different aspects, like you were just touching upon. Is there something to do with weighted shoes, or am I making that up when it comes to the Queen?
No, you're confusing the two of them. But yes, huge preparation. So the Queen actually is very involved with the design process, which is lovely. The Queen loves fashion. And actually, we know that because she went to Fashion Week herself and sat in the on the front row next to the wonderful and one and only Anna Wintour. And she presented her own award for the Best British Design, which went to Richard Quinn that year, which was amazing. So she likes to be involved in the design process, and she has a very good idea of what does and doesn't suit her. So right from the beginning, the wonderful Angela will sketch out the designs, and this has to be approved first of all by the Queen before she carries it any further. Then sort of a dummy of the outfit made up in toile, which is like a designer's sort of canvas material, so the Queen can see how the dress is going to fall and sit. And then there are several fittings, and that's just making the outfits. But all of the fabric is tested very carefully. So they don't want it to crease, they want it to carry the weight, the beads and the embellishment, if there's going to be any of that going on. They make sure it's not sheer, so that Her Majesty isn't showing anything that she doesn't want to if she stands behind a light. And very importantly, this is what you're thinking of, they actually sew very discreetly and cleverly, they sew some weights into the hemlines of the outfits to make sure that should she suddenly get a gust of wind, you know, a little bit low down, she's not going to experience a Marilyn Monroe moment. And we
I was
not
about
want
to
that.
say, yeah,
Yes.
we don't want Marilyn Monroe on the Jubilee.
No, we really don't. But the shoes thing, and this is fascinating as well, Angela Kelly has the same size feet as Her Majesty. Oh, by the way, we have got Her Majesty with us today. I hope this is all right. But I did bring a little model just in case Queenie wanted to tune in and see herself. I thought we've got her here. So
we've got her here as well. She is with us today, listening to all of this fashion that's going to go on this weekend.
There you are. Thank you, Your Majesty. And yes, thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful time in case you are watching. So she's the same shoe size as the Queen.
That's ideal.
Yeah, it is ideal because it doesn't mean it gets all the hand-me-downs, freebies. No, that doesn't happen in Buckingham Palace. Something else happens, actually, which I can tell you about in a moment. But what it does mean for the Queen, and how is this for the ultimate royal luxury, is that Angela Kelly wears in her shoes for her. Brings them in.
It's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Isn't that amazing?
Not brilliant for Angela, but, you know, for the Queen, absolutely incredible.
I think she considers it an honour and a privilege, and you know, and they're beautiful, beautiful shoes as well, of course. So I'm sure she takes it all very seriously and in her stride.
I love that, Miranda. Thank you for that insight, because again, something that not many people would know. We've got to talk about jewelry as well. What will the Queen be wearing? She loves her diamonds. She loves to wear the crown. She loves to look fantastic. What can we see when it comes to jewelry this weekend for the Queen?
Well, this is an interesting one. It's going to depend, I think, a little bit on whether we see the Queen in an evening gown this year. Now, we know, I think we got a little bit off track earlier when we were talking about who was going to be attending what. We do know for sure that the Queen is intending to attend the Thanksgiving service at St. Paul's Cathedral on the Friday. So we'll have a nice smart sort of church outfit for that. And then she loves, and she will not miss, the trooping of the colour, followed by the royal sort of send-off on the balcony and the red arrows and all that wonderful, wonderful splendour, which is on the Thursday, that's tomorrow. So we know that for sure she's going to attend those two things, but she's not going to be in the normal Golden State carriage. I imagine she'll do that in one of her lovely Range Rovers just for comfort, because she hasn't been in the best of health recently, sadly, although rumour has it she's much better now, thank goodness. So it's going to depend very much on how she feels. I think a last minute decision is going to be made in terms of whether she actually attends evening events or not. So her jewellery is going to vary depending on that. What I'm expecting is that we're going to see some bespoke pieces that have been designed and created especially for this occasion. And this is nothing new to the royal family. They've been doing it for many, many years. So they'll take beautiful old jewellery pieces that have them fantastic stones, and then they'll rework them. They'll have them remade into something perhaps lighter or more wearable or more contemporary. So I am very much expecting to see a special diamond jubilee, or platinum jubilee, I should say, brooch. Something else that we might see being worn over the weekend is the Queen received a beautiful Cartier brooch as a wedding gift for her and Prince Philip. And I think she may well be remembering him through wearing that as well, which would be lovely.
Well, that was my next question. Obviously, like you've just covered, is you know, obviously the late Prince Philip, will she give a nod at such a special occasion? And you think she will?
Oh, she will. I mean, the late Prince Philip, he was the absolute love of her life, and we all know, and it's very clear to see that she misses him dreadfully and very understandably, and she likes to keep him close. So the brooch that was a wedding gift is one way that she likes to remember him, and also remember, as I mentioned, all these outfits have been planned meticulously for months, if not years, and they are full of beautiful layered symbolism. So something else that I am expecting to see over the course of the weekend is the Queen wearing, and probably the boys as well, wearing a dark bottle green colour. which was actually the colour of Prince Philip's livery. It was his livery colour. So we quite often see the Queen wearing a little bit of that. And of course, she also uses these days his walking cane, which is a really poignant reminder of her late husband.
Absolutely. And moving on from the Queen, we can't wait to see what she's wearing, but we've got to touch on other members of the royal family. We're going to see the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, even the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who are returning to the UK, rumoured to be today. And we'll also obviously see Charles, Camilla. So let's go to Kate first. Now, Kate is renowned for recycling clothes. She loves to do that. But will she do that this weekend over the bank holiday, do we think?
You're right. Kate does rewear or recycle old clothes, as the Queen, and actually the royal family as a whole are much more frugal with their fashion than you might think. I think, to be honest, they're acutely aware that the British taxpayer contributes very heavily towards their wardrobe, and they don't want to be frivolous. And why would you be? So they do frequently repeat outfits. And actually, a really good idea, good example of the Queen doing this, for example, is at the last Jubilee, the Diamond Jubilee. She wore a beautiful lemon dress combination that she'd actually worn the year before to the wedding of Kate and William. So it's not unusual to rewear things. So I think that Kate will. She loves a vintage handbag. She loves to repeat those. But I think it's almost more important than ever right now, given the current economic situation, that they show that they're not being frivolous or wasteful, and they are actually frugal, because the rest of the nation and the world at the moment are largely also watching their pennies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And what about Camilla? Do we think that she will wear something statement about potentially becoming the future Queen? Will she show that through her dress code this weekend, do we think?
Camilla has also had a style transformation, and I think very notably after she married Prince Charles, her style took on a whole new meaning, and she is slowly but surely becoming even more regal and stately in her fashion and her personal style, which does reflect her future status as the wife of the King of England. So yes, absolutely. What we often see on occasions like this are a bit of a tribute from the guests and other members of the royal family to our wonderful Queen. How they might do this is to reinterpret or reimagine a very iconic outfit that the Queen might have worn in years previously to a big occasion. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. So one fabulous example is the really beautiful bubblegum pink look that the Queen wore to a previous Jubilee, which was incredibly popular. She had this fabulous sort of dipped hat, a wonderful swing hem, and this beautiful candy with lots of pleats. It was just the most frothy, frivolous, wonderful fashion combination, and a very iconic look for Her Majesty. So I wouldn't be surprised if that sort of thing, that sort of iconic look, was recreated. And I think Camilla will be doing something along those lines.
Absolutely. And do you think maybe Sophie, Countess of Wessex, Princess Anne, will they also do a nod to the Queen throughout their outfits, do we think?
Yes, in their own way. So Sophie doesn't have a stylist at all. She's very happy to dress herself, and she's ex-PR, of course, and works in the bright lights of London and the city, and knows how to put an outfit together. But at the same time, she has this appeal because she's quite a normal dresser. She always looks lovely, but I think for the members of the public, it's quite attainable. She's beautifully dressed, but not so far out that they couldn't ever dream of recreating that look. So that's lovely. But yes, there will be some nods to Her Majesty, either in the silhouette of a look or perhaps a piece of jewellery that may have been borrowed from the Queen, because all of the crown jewels are owned by the Queen herself. None of the other royal women own them. They're only loaned out when when the Queen sees fit to actually loan them out to the ladies, which is worth noting. Then Queen Anne is not a fashionista and should be the first person to admit that. She's probably far more at home in a pair of joggers and a headscarf and doing that lovely country chic that she does so well. She might surprise us all and turn up in military uniform, certainly to the military events, because she does have one and she looks incredibly smart in it. But I do think that given the gravitas of the occasion, she's going to pull all the stops out and make an effort. I mean, she's probably the most frugal of all the royal family with her clothing. I just don't think she's that interested in it. But I do think she's going to look rather fabulous, as it is such a big deal.
Oh, well, I can't wait to see it. So excited to see all the royals out and about again. It's going to be so nice to see. And talking about the ladies, we've got to move on to the gentlemen. What are we going to see the royal men in, do we think, over the weekend?
There's going to be a mixture. So on the military themed events, there is going to be a prevalence of lovely military uniform. And there we can see that's Prince Charles, isn't it? Looking so dapper in his beautiful regalia there. All those lovely medals just stuck in his jacket, all that wonderful pomp and circumstance as well that we are known and loved for in Great Britain, and is just part of our heritage and culture and just so wonderful. So all of the royal gentlemen will be in their military garb for the Trooping of the Colour, the military event, and then they might take it down a notch and dress in a really sharp suit and tie. Now, they normally wear charcoal or navy. Black is reserved for funerals. But they do like their well cut, sort of all slim fitting as well, suit jackets now. The gentlemen in particular, Harry and William, are both going down that route, the more Italian cut blazer, which is really, really nice. And then if they have an evening event, they will be wearing white tie and tails with their medals if they end up going that far.
Absolutely. Well, it all sounds so good. Miranda, thank you so much for touching on all of this. We're so excited to see. But we have to talk finally, before we go, about Meghan Markle, who, you know, everyone is excited to see what she's going to wear. She does break from tradition normally, but now she's stepped down as a senior member of the royal family. Will she wear whatever she wants to wear? Or do you think she'll pay a nod to the Queen? Will she wear white? There are a lot of questions surrounding her outfit. I want you to tell us what we can expect.
Well, Meghan's style is very interesting. She's an expert at her own personal branding, actually, and being an actress, she's got a bit of an eye and a feel for this. And she's evolved from California girl to something very, very sophisticated these days. And her wardrobe is full of beautiful, quality, minimalist separates that are very, very luxurious. And she sort of lets her presence and beauty do all talking, which she does so effortlessly, but she does love her white, and she's no stranger to color psychology and symbolism, and white is very much all about purity, innocence, peace. So I'm expecting her to be white or ivory or cream, to be honest. This is again a message of peace and unity. She does actually want to make amends with the royal family and certainly the British public after she and Harry departed for the States. But if anyone's going to break any royal fashion rules, it's going to be Meghan. Strictly, she's not really part of the family anymore anyway. And one of the ones we often see, well, there's two actually. One is pantyhose. Royal ladies are expected to all wear nude or natural pantyhose or hosiery, but men actually quite like showing a bit of bare flesh, so that'll be interesting. Will she be wearing tights or not? We will see. And the other one is nail polish. So nude or natural nails are requested by the Queen. But again, Meghan has been known to flash a little bit of colour on her pinkies. So will she do? We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. That is absolutely it. Well, I don't know about you, but I am so excited. Who are you most excited to see when it comes to fashion this weekend?
Well, apart from the Queen, it's got to be the Duchess of Cambridge, because Kate's style is just going from strength to strength. Natasha Archer's doing a wonderful job. Her look was breathtaking in Roland Murray at the Top Gun premiere last week in Cannes. I'm so excited to see her collection, because there is a collection of wardrobe look.
Yes, I think I'd go for the exact same. But just as we wrap up, just want to say thank you so much, Miranda, for all your expertise when it comes to Jubilee fashion and style. And hope everyone has a great bank holiday weekend. Enjoy and celebrate.
Absolutely.